The Atlanta Hawks defeated the Milwaukee Bucks 117-98 in what was an incredible win without their all-star point guard, Trae Young. We learned how explosive AJ Green, Hawks rookie, could be off the bench, but we also learned the Hawks had the mental fortitude to snap the Bucks' 9-game winning streak. What are your expectations as we anticipate the third meeting with the season series tied 1 game each?
I think that the second unit can show up again. My expectation is to see the second unit show out again. When AJ Griffin got into the game, I was like, "Oh, you the one, right?" He it's almost like he sparked a fresh, a freshness to the game that was needed. Now, granted, I think that the Bucks, Giannis and Drew Holiday was just tired since I had them actually winning the matchup. But the Hawks showed out. I'm not going to play. And then Trae Young wasn't even on the court, as you mentioned. I think it was just amazing. But that second unit is really, for me, was what changed the game in that matchup. And I think if I can see that second unit show up again, and if they, I think it'll be amazing. But I also want to know, is Giannis playing? Will Drew be on the court? Because this will be a whole different type of matchup if they're not there, right?
Right. Yeah, but I'm looking for the Bucks to have a long memory here. I mean, because look, they know they committed 19 turnovers, which led to 22 points for the Atlanta Hawks. They
Mm-hmm.
know the Hawks outscored them in the second, third, and the fourth quarter. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for the Bucks to come out with more energy, a little bit more dominance, take care of the basketball, and also get on the boards. I mean, they're one of the biggest teams in the East. What's the problem here?
Brooke Lopez.
Yeah.
Brooke Lopez is a problem. So I know that Giannis played in this game, their second matchup that they had. Giannis played. But if Giannis is not playing Brooke Lopez, I'm gonna need for you to find yourself on the board because you are their center. We are relying on Bobby Portis to hold it down because usually it's Bobby Portis and Giannis, but Giannis is not
Mhm.
there. So Brooke Lopez, let me tell you something. In that game against the Hawks, I said, Brooke Lopez stand over there. I'm waiting for a pass. Waiting for a pass. Brooke Lopez, if you don't get in the paint, oh, I was so. And if you don't do nothing else, can you at least kind of fight for some offensive rebounds? Like I just
Please.
needed more from Brooke Lopez, and I'm seeing
Mhm.
Butterfingers. That I know he wasn't the cause of the game being lost, but he was a huge contributing factor. He had 2 rebounds. Two,
Unacceptable.
count it, 2 rebounds. What? And so what's so funny about it is because if you've watched any subsequent games after that one when the Bucks played, once again, there was one game where Brooke Lopez stepped up and had, I think, double digit in rebounds. But then after that, he went back to 2. I know that you like to shoot the 3 ball. I get
Mhm.
it. I get it. And when it's right, it's right. But I'm gonna need Coach Bud to say, Giannis ain't playing. I'm gonna need you, Brooke Lopez, to be in the paint. Get a rebound. The 2 rebounds for me is just unacceptable to be a center. And the Milwaukee Bucks need you to be a rebounder. And if you get an opportunity, step to the perimeter and maybe shoot a 3 or whatever, do something. But I need more from Brooke Lopez. 2 rebounds,
Yeah,
not
no.
enough. It is
At his
not
size.
enough. And that is one of the things that I think the Hawks benefited from in this matchup is because Brooke Lopez was just waiting for a pass. I'm waiting for them to pass me the ball. I can't. And then when he is in his defensive, then he butterfingers. Like he can't even hold on to the ball or he tapping it out. I was like, can you sit Brooke down? I was so done. But I think that's one of the things that if Giannis is not playing, and if Giannis doesn't play in this next matchup that the Hawks have with the Bucks, I'm gonna need Brooke Lopez to find some rebounds all game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Clint Capella gonna eat you up. He ate
Mhm.
him up in the game, their last matchup. So I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah, mm-mm.
Yeah, we're talking about offensive efficiency. First of all, Giannis scored 9 for 20 from the field in their last matchup. And Drew Holiday, oh my God, 7 for 14. She's not gonna do it. They shot the 3 ball. The Bucks shot the 3 ball 13 for 40. They
Mm-hmm,
usually shoot better than that. Meanwhile,
mm-hmm.
the Atlanta Hawks, Murray went 11 for 24. AJ Griffin came in, went 10 for 15 off the bench, and they shot the 3 ball 11 for 29. And that was probably the game, in addition to, like you mentioned, the defensive rebounds or getting on the boards on the offensive side. I believe the Bucks will have a long memory. We're going to see a different team, more in tune, more locked in.
Just don't know. I just don't know. And I can't say for certain if Giannis and Drew is not playing. That's my only thing. What type of matchup will we really get if Giannis and Drew is not on the floor, right? So even if they play this next game, because if you think about it, the games that the Bucks played after that, they won against OKC, but they lost against San Antonio.
Hmm.
Giannis and Drew Holiday didn't play. So I'm just like, we, so this is what we're going to expect if they don't play. Brooke Lopez, I'm on Brooke Lopez right now. I just want to let you know. I'm on Brooke Lopez. Brooke Lopez in that game had 2 rebounds. Giannis is your top rebounder. If he's not in the game, who is going to absorb? First of all, who's going to absorb the points and the rebounds and the effort that Giannis can put out there? Just for a minute. He gonna come back. So if the Bucks have a chance to win against the Hawks in this next matchup, Giannis is gonna have to play. And if he doesn't play, then I just don't know. I can't say that Javon Carter, I like him as a substitute for Drew Holiday just until Drew Holiday can get back on the court. He's super quick, super aggressive, and I think that he has been able to hold it down in that particular position since Drew Holiday hasn't been playing for the past 2 games. But again, I'm gonna need more from others, and I just think that in order for them to win this next matchup, especially if the Hawks is going to be at full capacity, the,
Yeah.
the Bucks are going to have to really find a way to kind of pull it together because the Hawks already feel good. They already broke your streak, so they're coming into this next matchup like we the one that made y'all lose the first time this season,
Yeah,
and since
exactly.
then you lost again. So
Hmm.
what that mean for us? We already got your number. We know what to do. So then the Bucks are going to have to step it up in the just to make sure they can maintain that they still have dominance over the Hawks. And I don't know if they can do that without Giannis and Drew on the floor.
Right. Now, regarding the Hawks, now we know they play without Trae Young, but since he's been back from injury, he hasn't shot the ball especially well. I mean, he hasn't shot his normal selection of 3. His shot has been off. He went 10 for 28 in one game, 7 for 21, 8 for 18, and 2 losses since he's
Yep.
been back.
Yep.
So my concern is whether Trae Young will try to overcompensate in this game. You know, that's my concern. And it's been my concern since they
Mm.
traded in for DeJounte Murray. Like, is he going to overcompensate to make sure that he remains ball dominant? I don't know. But especially coming back from injury and the fact that they beat the Bucks already without him,
Yep.
now it's like, okay, I'm back. Let me show you my dominance. And that's my concern
Yeah.
moving
Yeah.
forward.
That's a good one. That is a good one. I can't say, and I know that Trae Young is the franchise player. He is one of the exciting pieces to watch on the Hawks roster.
Yeah.
But that game without him, when they played against the Bucks, I was like, oh, that's nice. It was nice to watch. I just and I think maybe they just rallied together, say, Trae, we're gonna take one for you. We're gonna do one for you. Maybe that's what it was. It was maybe because they gave AJ Griffin more minutes. I'm gonna need Coach McMillan to make sure AJ Griffin gets at least 15.
Oh, at least.
At least 15 a night. Now, if you need to shave some off of John Collins, shave some off of Hunter, that's fine. I'm talking about a few minutes. But I'm gonna need for him to get more minutes, and I'm gonna need for him to get at least minimum 15. Because I think that he was able to show us that he has something. But if you now sit him in the back burner and give him back, the last game they played, he had 12 minutes, I believe, with 9 points. But if he needs more minutes to get himself back in rhythm, then find a way to give him that, right? Because he
Yeah.
was a great addition off your bench, right? And if
Yeah.
that is something that you may need to re-spark the offense again and maybe get back on defense because they're so young. Oh, another thing I noticed in the matchup, the Bucks was looking a little old. They were looking a little
Yeah.
old, a little veteranish. I'm just not that it's a negative thing, but that second unit came in the game, and I was like, "Oh, Bucks, these young guns is killing y'all right now." They was looking just a tad bit old to me, and I think it's because they had been winning so many games, they just were tired. And then now with the injuries from Giannis and Drew Holiday, maybe the rest would be needed. Hopefully, will play, but.
But I think you said they looked a little old, maybe a half step slower. But I
Mhm.
think the Bucks, it was a letdown game for them. Once they learned that Trae Young wasn't going to play, they were like, "Oh, okay, we got this." Huh,
Can't do it.
surprise, surprise! I know
You
you can't do that. You can't do
no.
that in the NBA. It's disrespectful.
No, it's
Yeah.
not with these young players with all the dog they have in them. You cannot do that. No, them
Hmm.
days are over. There are no more. Oh, you know what? Who ain't playing? Who ain't showing up? I just, you know what? We gonna just come in and get this win real quick and be done. There is no real
No.
quick wins anymore. even with the teams you don't even think that you can that are less competitive than you, because they have been shown. If you've watched any of the games, those teams have upset some teams.
Sure have.
So
Yeah.
no, so yeah, I think this Hawks matchup, that's going to be Hawks and Bucks matchup, the next one, is going to take whoever's going to be playing on the Bucks an additional effort for them to get this win. I just think.
Yeah, we might need another career high from Javon Carter. I think he scored what 36 or something. That was
Might be.
fantastic. They might need that. Now, let's talk about your outcome for this game. I know it's up in the air whether or not the top dogs will play. We're talking about Giannis, Drew. I mean, even Grayson Allen, because it was kind of in and out with his injury. Who do
Mm-hmm.
you have winning this game?
It's a contingency, if I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go with the Hawks only because I think they will have the upper hand coming into this game, especially now, as you mentioned, which may be a concern, but also can be a benefit if Trae is like, I'm getting ready to show y'all you still need me, and I'm gonna still, since I didn't get a chance to participate in the win with the Bucks, I'm gonna participate in this one. So I have the Hawks coming out of this matchup because of the way the second unit and how they rally together in that last matchup. It really looked good for them. And I think that if Nate McMillan will allow and the Hawks will come to the game ready, knowing that they broke the streak of the Bucks, so they're probably going to give them a little bit something, right? I think I'm going to go with the Hawks.
Oh,
Who
shoot.
you got?
Okay. I have the Bucks winning this game
Okay.
because their pride is hurt. They know they should not have, allowed the Hawks to beat them and snap their win streak. So I'm going with that. Especially if Giannis and Drew are back and Grayson Allen is lighting them up from the three ball. If
Yeah,
Giannis and them do not play, I still have the Bucks winning because Javon Carter is just going to go off, and we're going to see more from Brooke Lopez.
we better.
So and Bobby, and Bobby is also going to take it up a notch. He talked about the lack of energy that they played with,
Yeah,
so I
it was
expect
obvious.
more from him, and
Okay.
the Bucks will win this game.